Thank you for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon FBA business for sale in the apparel and accessories niche. Created in January 2017, this business makes $5,633 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 44897. We do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the businesses they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Ralph, thank you for coming on here today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, it is my pleasure. I'm looking forward to chatting with you about this Amazon FBA business that you've built. But before we get to the questions that I have with you, I want to go ahead and run through a little quick summary of the business. Again, the business was built in January of 2017, has a monthly revenue of $26,002, expenses of $20,369 to make for a net profit of $5,633, which is generated on a 10-month average. Included in the sale of this business are 40 SKUs, a branded domain, Shopify account, SOPs, VA relationship, and supplier relationships. Please note the inventory is not normally included in the list price. Further details can be provided to active depositors. Ralph, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
So basically, I started working for a startup first. I was leading the marketing team there. And then I partnered with someone in the UK to start an Amazon business. It went really well, but the partnership didn't really work out. So then I started my own Amazon business, and that was like in 2017. Yeah.
And that's the store we're talking about today, correct?
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, I had some background in marketing, so that was certainly helpful. And yeah, that's how I got started, basically, with Amazon.
And that's how you got started. So why do you want to get out of this business today? Why have you decided to sell it?
Yeah, basically, I want to start a new brand in another niche, and I want to get something to invest in the new business. So that's why I want to sell it.
Why did you choose this niche?
Yeah, it was basically all research-based. I looked for niches that don't have too much competition and that also have like some sort of boring product where I don't expect too much new competition to come in, like it could be with some trending products. And yeah, I was like looking for a small niche that I was able to dominate basically after some time, and it worked out quite well. So now I have the best selling product in that niche, and we've been working out quite well.
As I've noticed when I look back at the numbers over the last year, the business has seen year-on-year growth, and it's still only going up every month. So what is going on to drive the growth of the business, and how can a new owner keep that going?
Well, in the beginning, basically it took some time to establish, like some great listings with enough reviews and so on. And now, like, there's one main selling product, and it has about maybe 70% of the total revenue or so. And that one basically doesn't really grow as much because it's the best selling product, but it has like a large market share for that niche. So basically the growth now is coming mostly from new products. So there's a significant opportunities in other, like launching more products in the same niche.
When you look at this business, something that you see is there, in addition to the Amazon store, there's also a branded domain with a Shopify store set up, correct?
Yeah, basically, I created a Shopify store. I thought eventually using that to expand on the brand. Currently, it has a store, but it doesn't really have all the content, and it also doesn't have any traffic. So it's basically only the domain name, and it's a store, but it doesn't really have any traffic, or, it's not like a finished store. It doesn't really have a lot of products in it.
Is there a reason why you haven't finished getting that set up?
I was working on other things, so yeah, I didn't really get finished that, and I had some plans for it eventually, but then I didn't continue working on those.
How do you get the products to the customer? Is it all fulfilled by Amazon?
Yeah, it's all FBA. Basically, when I order from the suppliers, then I'm going to do some inspection, then it's going to send to FBA directly, and from there it's going to all by Amazon.
Is that all you have to do for the business in terms of maintenance, or do you have other duties as well?
Well, basically, there's a few things that need to be done frequently. So one is like PPC optimization, basically. So just having a look that the PPC is running profitably, and yeah, that it's utilizing the traffic and so on. And I have a VA for that who handles like the weekly and monthly optimization for that. And I also have like SOPs for what I'm doing there. And then the other areas are just like looking at if there's any customer inquiries, if there are any new like news, eventually some better news, any issues that need to be fixed, seller feedback, things like that. So like it makes sense to look at the account at least like every 2 or 3 days. But in general, yeah, I mean most of the work is like pre-ordering an inventory, and it's not like it doesn't take a lot of time, so it doesn't really, you know, it's like you have to reorder inventory maybe once a month or twice a month, so it's not that often.
Mm-hmm. And so if you had to quantify the number of hours that you spend on the business on a weekly basis, what would you say?
Well, as long as you don't really like work on launching new products, I think you can run it like it is now for like 2 hours per week max. It doesn't really like take a lot of time. I mean, you have to look at the account and see that everything is going all right. But in general, like as long as you don't really have to do a lot, you have to reorder inventory and look at the numbers, and that's basically it.
You mentioned pay-per-click ads on Amazon. Is that where the majority of your traffic comes from?
It's about 60 or 70% organic and about 30% PPC. So the majority is organic traffic. Also because like I have like the best selling listings, so and it has like the best rankings for all the main keywords. Basically, it's all ranking in the top 3 for all the main keywords. So yeah, most of the traffic is organic.
What do you feel are some of the major opportunities for growth that a new owner could take advantage of?
Yeah, as I mentioned already, launching new product in the same niche. I think that makes a lot of sense. There's still many products I think that could be a good opportunity and that are also not too competitive. What else could be done? Right. I mean, launching new traffic channels outside of Amazon, of course. So I haven't really done anything like that, like Facebook ads or, finishing the store and driving traffic there. So I think the brand could be expanded still quite a bit. Or another opportunity would be like trying to get the product into retail stores, especially like for the best selling product, because it's like the best selling product on Amazon for that niche. So eventually there's some opportunity to sell it via retail as well.
Do you feel like there are any specific risks associated with this business that you want a potential new owner to be aware of?
I don't really see any big risk. I mean, in that niche, there are some sellers that have quite low prices, but I never found this to be a big issue. Like they don't have too much traffic and they don't take away too much of my market share. So I feel like, I mean, the niche is very stable. So there's not a lot of new sellers coming in. And also, I have basically one main competitor who has like significant market share, but I have like at least twice as much sales as my second competitor. So yeah, I think the niche is very stable and the growth opportunity mostly new products. So the existing products, I think, don't really have a big risk.
Are there any special skills or requirements for someone to take over this business if they're unfamiliar with the niche or Amazon FBA? Is there a big learning curve?
No, not really. I mean, the product itself is very simple, which means there possibly not much to know about the product or issues to fix. I mean, that was also one of the reasons why I chose this product, because, it's very simple. It doesn't really have anything complicated. Like it's not in a niche that is like somehow regulated or anything like that. So I think from that side, there's not really a problem. And then, I mean, all the tasks that have to be done, I have SOPs for that. So if someone, even if they're not familiar with Amazon at all, should be able to run the business, as it doesn't take a lot of time. And yeah, it's not, I mean, all the tasks that have to be done are like written down in detail.
What advice would you have for someone who wanted to get started with FBA? What's something you wish you had known when you were getting started?
Well, I mean, now to start a new FBA business is going to be much harder than like a couple of years ago. I think it's important to choose products that are not too complicated and that don't have too much competition. I mean, a lot of niches are very competitive now. So I think like how I started, it was like a good way. I mean, I started the business with like only $1,500 and it grew that big in just like 2 years, basically less than 2 years. So I think it kind of worked out, taking like looking for non-competitive niches, not too complicated product, more like smaller products, and also not like trendy products that might see a lot of new sellers coming in.
Would you commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I want to launch a new brand and it's in another niche. It's still like clothing as well, but it's not like anything in the same area like the products that I'm selling right now.
How much support are you willing to offer a new owner during the transition period?
Well, I can offer like 30 days to support via Skype calls and email. And after that, if there is some important issue, I can still be there by email.
Are you willing to negotiate on something like an earnout?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Ralph, thank you so much for the time today. I do have another question for you, but before we get to that, I want to go ahead and run through that quick summary of the business again. The business was built in January of 2017, has a monthly revenue of $26,002, expenses of $20,369 to make for a net profit of $5,633, which is generated on a 10-month average. Included in the sale of this business are 40 SKUs, a branded domain, Shopify account, SOPs, VA relationship, and supplier relationships. Please note that inventory is not normally included in the list price. Further details can be provided to active depositors. Ralph, looking at this business, why do you feel like it is a business worth buying?
It's very like low maintenance. So I think if it's like someone who doesn't really have a lot of experience with Amazon, I think that would be a very good business to buy. Or also like if someone's looking to make an income relatively passively, I think for those kind of buyers, I think it's a very good opportunity.
Ralph, thank you so much for taking the time today. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that will take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing site and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business advisors will be in contact with you, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.